The hymn entitled Amazing Grace is one of the best-known hymns sung by believers and unbelievers alike, as it describes the beauty of God's grace. It is interesting that it is this concept of grace in the Christian religion that captures the imagination of people when they think about Christianity, and it is this idea so beautifully captured in this song. Not many people realize that John Newton, who wrote this song, also wrote 9 additional verses to the 4 that are usually printed in our songbooks. John Newton's life was an embodiment of this song. When he was 7 years old, he lost his mother. Later, he became a sailor and eventually worked on slave ships. In a cruel irony, he himself became a slave and was sold to a black woman who treated him like an animal, as revenge for those who so badly treated her own people. He was saved from this degrading life and became a minister and writer of hymns that stirred the hearts of people the world over. Shortly before his death in 1807, he wrote, "Though I am not what I ought to be, nor what I wish to be, nor what I hope to be, I can truly say that I am not what I once was, a slave to sin and Satan, and I can heartily join with the Apostle Paul and acknowledge, by the grace of God, I am what I am." In this book, I'm going to try to describe this amazing grace that John Newton so powerfully felt and wrote about. Grace is amazing. There are several ways of learning what the Bible says about a subject or a word. A first step is to begin with the original meaning of the word you're studying, and then examine how Jesus and the apostles used it. The New Testament was first written in the Greek language, and so the original Greek word translated into the English word grace was the word charis. In early Greek literature, the word chara, from which charis was taken, meant beautiful, lovely, attractive, charming, and that which is delightful. By New Testament times, the word had come to signify joy or rejoicing. In later Latin translations, the word also included the idea of gratitude. When all these ideas are combined, our word grace refers to that which is lovely, happy, and generous, is in giving or receiving a gift. Grace is not itself a thing, but rather a word that describes the nature and value of something else. In normal literature, it's used to describe a spirit of generosity, kindness, and loveliness. Example, he is gracious, she is graceful. In biblical terms, the word is used to describe God's attitude and actions towards mankind. What God has done for man, from the creation of the universe to the saving of his soul, is referred to as grace, God's grace. The word grace is used in a variety of ways in the New Testament. We find it 170 times in all, and 101 times by Paul the Apostle alone, but never once by Jesus, because the Bible refers to him as the epitome of grace. For the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by Jesus Christ. John 1, verse 17. Because grace is at once a simple yet vast subject, there are many misunderstandings concerning it. The essential meaning of grace. Although the word grace can be used to describe God's essential character, kind, generous, God's attitude in creating the world, joyful, or how we should treat each other, mercifully, the most repeated and important idea that this word describes has to do with mankind's salvation from sin. The basic doctrine of the Bible is the doctrine of salvation. The entire Bible has been produced in order to explain this one important idea.